everybody, Ostrone here with another First Edition Friday video for you. Got a pretty simple one today. We're going to talk about the ban list again. So 2 years ago, I did a video where we talked about all the cards that were on the ban list, and then talked about what kind of like possible errata that could be issued on some of them to get them off the ban list. And then it was kind of hoping that that sort of thing would become a priority. So in the 2 years since, we have seen quite a few cards come off the ban list. So if you want to go back and rewatch this video, it's December 29th, 2023 is when I posted it. You can go back and you can rewatch that video and you can see where the ban list was at 2 years ago, which is just kind of incredible to me how much time flies. It does not feel like it's been 2 years since I recorded that video, and yet here we are. It's been 2 years. So we recorded that video and then we talked about all those cards. Now let's just kind of go ahead here and take a look at where the ban list is at now. So there are definitely fewer cards that are on the ban list now, and what's interesting is that there are quite a few that were on the ban list 2 years ago that are not on there now. So progress has been made in getting cards off of the ban list. The unfortunate truth, though, is that some cards that came out in the interim found their way onto the ban list. So, you know, 3 steps forward, 1 step back, 2 steps forward, 1 step back, whatever you want to say. And there are some that are on here that have been on here the entire time. I will, of course, highlight a note here. I'm recording this video on December 4th. And it was, of course, announced today that with the release of All Good Things Remastered, Shapeshift Inhibitor has been errated and will come off this ban list. So you can basically remove Shapeshift Inhibitor from the ban list as well. I should also make a note of the fact that Distortion of Space-Time Continuum has an errata version. That means that it is technically off the ban list. It's just that 2 versions of the card did not get errata, so that the original version would exist for open play under its original wording. And of course that's going to be the same thing for Shapeshift Inhibitor, is that basically like its original printing is still going to be I still believe they're going to keep the original printing the way it is for open play. Now, I mean, I don't know who's doing open play anymore without, with the original printings of all the cards, but if you are out there and you're doing that, more power to you. So you still have those cards available to you as they were originally designed. So what that leaves us with is all 3s, Delta Quadrant Spatial Scission, the Destroyed Radioactive Garbage Scow, some cards that are on the ban list because they were made into rules, and so you can't have them double dip, where the rule and then the card, right? These two, an intermix ratio. Holographic Camouflage is on the ban list, same within the zone. Jem'Hadar Shrouding, much to my massive chagrin, is still on the ban list, even though I have said a dozen times or more that, one, I don't think that this card should be on the ban list at all, that it was put on the ban list just because someone thought something. There's no proof to back it up whatsoever. And then I proved that by playing Jem'Hadar Shrouding in the one open tournament that was played here a few months ago, and basically showed that it's a decent card, but it is not in any way broken. So this card should just come off as it is. Now, Plot Twist and the Bellboy got put on here because their interaction made it just too easy to score a ton of bonus points off a mission. So they're going to get reworked, I'm sure, in order to not provide bonus points that easily. Q's Planet continues to stick on the ban list for the multiple reasons of it. Can provide an artifact too easily, and it can draw games out. You know, the additional 40 points to win kind of draws things out. I think Q's Planet has a very simple solution, you know, but we've talked about that before in the previous video 2 years ago. Quantum Incursion, same thing. It has, in my opinion, a very simple solution to get it off the ban list, but it takes time. And of course, there's always the fact that there's always this eye towards like timing it right, where we're not going to just put it back out just to put it back out. We want to kind of like time it well, but I don't know. Raise the Stakes will never get unbanned. That's perfectly fine. Talked about that before 2 years ago. Romulan Minefield is another card that I think could come off the ban list pretty quickly if it was just made unique. Like, it has a very simple solution in my mind to make it balanced again. Senior Staff Meeting has a referee card that hurts it. Of course, though, the concern is it's just outright discarding dilemmas. You know, just straight up nuking any dilemma is probably too good. But again, there's a referee card to deal with it. So, in the open tournament, some of my opponents played with the ref tent, so I didn't play this card. But then, like, against an opponent that chose not to play with a ref tent, then I used the Senior Staff Meeting to nuke a dilemma. And I don't remember exactly how powerful it was, but I don't remember it being too impactful. Seemed like it was more of the idea that it just kind of sped me along a little bit. But Temporal Narcosis is going to be on the ban list, I think, for a long time, just because of its interaction, gaining someone bonus turns by its unfortunate wording interaction with Revolving Door, the new wording of Revolving Door, and then of course the Big Picture is another one of the cards that it's basically a rule, so there's no reason for it to be out in play. Toxutot had come off the ban list and then had to go back on because of concerns of its negative play experience. Writ of Accountability is being reworked, is my understanding. So I think it's supposed to come off the ban list again here at some point. The reason why it got banned was because once they took Anti-Time Anomaly off of it, or once Anti-Time Anomaly got errated, reworked, errated, and then brought back out in the game, and of course Writ of Accountability kind of messed with it. And so Writ of Accountability needs to be reworded, so I expect Writ of Accountability to come off the ban list. And then of course Yoram Monument, which was another rule card. So when you eliminate the cards as rules now, the ban list is down to 1, 2, 3, not counting it, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There's basically just 15 cards on the ban list at this point. That's pretty good because there were, 25 or more on the ban list 2 years ago. So a chunk has been taken out, and then I want to take a moment here just to pause for a quick second and talk about this one. So everybody who's been around the community knows that I was very angry that scanner interference was on the ban list for basically as long as it was. And then they finally bring it back with errata, but then the errata took out the part of what was the reason why I felt like scanner interference needed to come back. So the original wording on scanner interference, it would download, there were some events that it would download. There were pollution cards, atmospheric ionization, etc., right? And I felt like those cards being able to be downloaded were good for the game because there's so much concern about the game moves too fast now and whatever, right? That, all you people can win in a short number of turns. Well, if that's your concern, then cards like that can slow things down just a little bit. Well, I guess the powers that be disagreed with that, and they brought scanner interference back. And the text that is on the card as it is right now is totally fine. I do think it's really good. Adding a computer skill to the requirements of scan, the full planet scan, and then after an opponent examines it outside of a mission attempt, you may discard this incident to download and seed one Botany Bay Dilemma there, even from discard pile. Now, I know that the original, because it's literally stated right here, that it was originally banned because the pollution download function we used to lock the opponent's personal and planet missions for most of the game has remained banned because full planet scan is considered overkill now that they got the errata. Then, of course, they brought it back. Now it got brought back because it's no longer hammering scan and full planet scan the way it did. Now it's just making it so that if you want to scan, then there's going to be something that you didn't know about. But the pollution cards got errata themselves, and so the original problem with scanner interference was, I believe, multiple copies of scanner interference could download multiple copies of atmospheric ionization and distortion field and or particle scattering field. So you would seed 2 or 3 scanner interferences, and then you would download atmospheric ionization and distortion field onto each of your opponent's planets. Well, once those cards got their errata to being unique, that no longer became a problem. And of course, scanner interference itself could have been downloaded could have been altered to just once per game. You may download one of those 3, right? There were, in my opinion, a lot of ways to take scanner interference that would have kept the pollution function intact on the card as well. So, I feel like this is, while it's fine, it is fine. I feel like it kind of got messed with. It's just a total side conversation. So, but I could no longer complain that scanner interference is now off the ban list. Now I can complain that the removal of the pollution download function is not good. I feel like the downloading of the pollution was a fun little wrinkle in the game. So yeah, the ban list is being chipped away at, which I think is ultimately a very good thing. I said that 2 years ago, that the goal should be to get these cards off the ban list. People want to play with their cards, even if they gotta print a new errated version of it, given the fact that playing with proxies, not proxies, but playing with printed cards is what we do in this game now. When a card gets errated, it's not a big burden on a player. other than just have to know that it's been errated and then print the copy, which is a small hurdle. So getting cards off the ban list is really should be a high priority. And then unfortunately, when these cards jump from real play to being on the ban list because of something, then it needs to be a priority to get them back off again, in my opinion. So hopefully here in the next year of 2026, some of these can also get brought back off. Jem'Hadar Shrouding, I'm looking at you in particular, that there's no reason that this card should be on the ban list anymore. It's a totally fine card. So, yeah. Anyway, that's all I have for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe if you have not already, and may the profits be with you.